What I'm saying in here is about, of course, we can grow. You know, the stability that I have today, the groundedness, the power I have today, I did not have the child who came to England. So it's been 24 years of growth.
Yeah.
It's not just aging, believe me. There's a lot of people at my age, they're nowhere near.
No, okay.
Or it could be I have a young guy who I coach, and one of the trainers is extremely emotionally mature. So therefore I help him deal with the ego that requires to ground that energy. He's extremely spiritual. But when I met him, he's a very ego driven. And I tell him that in his face, not because I'm sharing in here. I tell people straight, I am truthful. I will give you my total feedback. I have the ability to work with your spirit, I have the ability to work with your emotional body, with your physical body, with your mental body, with your heart. It took me 24 years to go through that process in myself. There's no one on this planet who knows me better than you know you. And if we're not going to be authentic with who I am, you'll be living your life as a fake. And you know that inside of you, no one needs to tell you that. Something inside of us will tell us when we're not being congruent. I wasn't being congruent. It made me sick. It made me ill. I developed the cancer. I healed the cancer. And I went straight into my family and I said, this is your story, it's not mine. I honor it and love you. You trained me to think that way. But my entire body knows when I'm next to a woman how I feel. I adore women, but I don't want to have sex with men. And who is anybody on this planet to tell me that's right or wrong? And who am I to tell each one of you what's right or wrong with you? Nobody. But if we adopt that in ourselves consistently, we free our soul to be, not to become. Because identity is to become. We already are. What do I need to become? I already went through a space, very short space in my life, where, you know, my soul went through massive vibrational shift. That if you met me in my 90s, you would see the anger, you would see my fire coming out. It would be like a volcano, it would burn anything. So when things happened in London, how many of you were in London during the Iraqi war and before the Iraqi war? Okay, so I was the first one to organize with a lot of these people to go hit the streets, not to go into war, because I do not believe in war. I experienced war. Not because I do not care about these people, I care about the entire planet. But I believe if they took people like myself and they spent billions with people like myself to train those countries, we raise the entire collective consciousness and we create peace. We go and kill people, we're not going to have peace. Then we need to accept the refugees. You know, I go and kill them, but I say I hate the refugees. I had many neighbors like that. And I looked straight in their eyes. I said, what do you hate about the Iraqis? Our system. I said, really? What system? 65 quid. I've been working 15 years and paying 40% of my salary to the tax system. I'm very happy to pay for people who need my money. And I'm very happy to pay for people who are in need. But also I'm very happy to train these people to be of service. Those people need love and nurturing. When somebody needs love and nurturing, we can transcend. Each one of us has the power to transcend anybody who's next to us. Do we choose that or not? That's totally entire matter. If I went and worked with each one of you, I will find exactly what's authentic with you and how you can use your own authenticity to inspire everybody, not to motivate. Motivation does not last. Inspiration comes from within ourselves. And when we are in that space, you are that light being. And you don't question anything about that anymore. You simply surrender. And when you surrender, trust is there. Everything that exists, we all know, comes from a bigger force, bigger source. But then we distrust when we go through experiences of luck in our own personal lives. So how can I distrust my ability to make money? This is the question I had when I left the corporate world. After the third identity crashes was my marriage, and I had to walk away from that. Then it was the corporate world. I built most successful career. I made millions and billions for others. And bang, redundancy because you're too expensive. And too expensive was 100K. That's how much I used to make in the IT world. For some of you, it might be a lot of money. For me, it wasn't. Considering I spent 16, 18 hours a day making millions for other people. Millions I'm talking about, and billions. My last job. So when I removed that, with me 100K, I was supporting my family back at home after a war. I had a good lifestyle. I bought my flat. I had friends, and everybody wanted. I was out. Being a single gay guy, you spend your money on your friends and your people they love. Suddenly the paycheck disappeared. How many people do you think remained around me?
Not many.
No? Many, absolutely. I learned another lesson. I learned a lesson who's authentic and why those people who are not authentic were in my own life. What was me creating it? I learned the lesson to receive. I was always giving. And I grew up, my parents teaching me to give, because that's what my parents did. 2 restaurants, they gave everything. And when the war happened, guess what? Nobody looked after my father nor my mother. Everybody disappeared, regardless of what religion came. I have family in Slovenia all the way to Macedonia, through entire former Yugoslavia, including Italy. I have a sister married in Lido di Jesolo, including Switzerland. All these people who my parents fed, and I grew up being given. That's what we are. We're grateful people. But then we choose who we give. And when there's no receiving, you can give. Eventually your energy will vibrate. It's the same way. If we don't feed our body, your body will not have the energy to do. So the universe, for you to be in balance, give and receive. When you have that balance in your relationship, in spirituality, in mental, in emotional, in your physical, in your job, and in your finances, you will vibrate at that vibrational hum which I was talking yesterday in my talk. And your entire being knows it. And therefore, you have no choice but to live who you are. And not to make up identities to please others. I made many identities to please many people. I just did not know which t-shirt to wear anymore. And I'm talking about identities as a t-shirt. Which clothes to wear. It's like you have this wardrobe in there, and then eventually you hate the whole wardrobe. Whether it's Dolce & Gabbana, whatever it might be, you just hate it. You just don't want to go there. And each wardrobe had a separate emotion attached to that clothes. And yet I had to cope with all of that. So, any more questions? Thank you. I did, believe me, it's not I didn't. Believe me, I did. I just had to work with many teachers and many coaches and many workshops and many healing and many, I would say, consistency and even myself. I would say the love and the care and investing in myself for me to be able to come and inspire. Pleasure. Anyone else? Yes. Yes, nice to meet you. So I work with crystal light bed therapy. I mean, the kind of work that I do, I work from, as I said, I work as a spiritual teacher for many people. And I work as a healer. Is she around there too? No, I think my team are in good health in here. Touch wood. I work as a healer, and also I do healer training because I've been Reiki master for many years, but also I develop many other healing modalities, and I work with Barbara Brennan in America. And I'm also a scientist, so I combined all of this, and I created the first methodology, and now I'm talking on my second and third book. It's about conscious parenting, and it's about merging the science with the healing of the body. So I'm talking about the chakras, and I've created a unique method to help people raise their vibration and understand the chakras, the relationship with the chakras, with the body, with the food, and with the consciousness, and how to heal anything that you have. So anything, whether it's emotional, physical illness, we can actually have the ability to heal. So the same power you see in me, honey, you have it in yourself. Because you will not... Yes, absolutely. There's a difference.
Fantastic, really pretty drama-free. It's
anyone else?
It's true that you need to go through your own first. Or you can do spirituality while you're still in there.
So if I cannot hold the vibration and the energy in here, you can ask me any question and I will give you feedback.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about emotion or whatever we picked up in our childhood or whatever trauma we need to
Yes, I mean it's basically...
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
There's a tendency to bypass it, but it will always come back.
Absolutely.
It's always
It will come and bite you.
there.
There's a saying in Albanian. I come ethnically back Albanian, even though I'm from Macedonia, my ethnic is Albanian. That people who lie, they have short legs. I'm not sure if that translates in English.
Short legs.
People who lie have short legs. They always get caught. That's what it means. I'm not sure. Do you have any similar phrase? Okay, like Pinocchio. Albanian we say, if you lie, you have short legs, then you will always get caught. So when I look at my own lies, hence I learned not to lie anymore. No matter where it is, I'll speak the truth. And people are free to take whatever I'm saying in whichever way to say, to judge me or not to judge me. It's freedom.
That's another point where I was speaking of not my truth, but the truth. You know, I did this, you know you didn't, yes I did. I get very, very emotional when they
Yeah, but
refuse to
that's not the
accept
truth I'm talking about.
what, like honesty to yourself.
Yes, but when I'm talking about truth, I'm talking about you guys can give me any truth you have, and I will have no emotional response to that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because if I'm speaking my truth, I need to honor each one of you your own truth without me saying it's right or wrong. That's the difference. That's the difference, because if I attach right and wrong to that, I'm not speaking the truth, I'm sorry. I'm literally dropping my vibration and I'm telling you bullshit. And when somebody tells you bullshit, your entire body knows it. And when somebody speaks to your heart, your entire body knows it, and your spirit knows it. And it will be like a love to your entire body. I literally feel loved. As simple as that. So whether I work in small groups like that, or I work in big groups, or I do in the corporate world, I literally give them love. That's what I do. And they might get it, especially corporate world. By the time I finished, and people have seen me delivering workshops and leadership courses, they go, like, how do you manage this like right brain thinkers to bring them into a left brain? I said, easy, they all have the same ability as me. I just have the tools and I adopt the tools. Because each one of you has the exact ability as any person on this planet. It's desires. Who mentioned desires? Desires. So, in Kabbalah, I studied Kabbalah for 10 years. Kabbalah, there's 3 types of desires. So the low type of desires is what we consider them the same as the animal kingdom. Desire to eat, to procreate, to have a home, to have a tribe, to have this, to have that. The next step, this is how they look at people, how the little separation happens. And the next level is people who desire to be teachers, to become yoga teachers, to be this and to be that and everything else. And therefore, you're aligning your entire life to be an architect, or to be a yoga teacher, or whatever it may be. And the next part of the desire, which is the highest level, is when you raise your vibration, you become the teacher. And you hold collective consciousness into the light. And those people devote their lives to become master teachers. And there's a mission in there which I wrote in 2009, without knowing what am I doing today, what I saw my vision with. I just wrote it down. And for you guys, go back home or later on, write down what's your mission. What is that mission that comes from your heart, that your entire heart tells you this is what I must do? And there's no other option, there's no stories, there's no lies, there's no, like, I don't know how to do it, all of that. Forget about all of that. Because when you honor that, everything else will come into your path.
I started along a very similar path quite a few years ago, and I wrote a list which was, how can I make my heart sing?